important for him. Because Kindred pre-4 marks is very short range, and there's so much engage on the JDG side that it becomes really difficult to actually
JDG가 이제
get a lot.
강력한 또 MSI 우승 후보 중 하나인데 저희가 만나면 충분히 이길 수 있을 거라고 생각하고
印象深刻的 Faker 比赛，就那个解反摔吧，就印象非常深刻。
저희가 만나면
还有一次我和 Faker 打，也是那种就比赛，我用先打他一口解反摔打不过，印象非常深刻。觉得这次我和我们队伍都觉得比之前好吧， Faker 打也是比较有概率，我用先打他一口解反摔打不过，印象非常深刻。觉得这次我和我们队伍都觉得比之前好 ，Faker 打也是比较有概率，我用先打他一口解反摔打不过，印象非常深刻。 这次我和我们队伍都觉得比之前好 ，Faker 打也是比较有概率，我用先打他一口解反摔打不过。
这是我的手段，不能别人。
In a world of ADCs, one man is king. It is ruler standing above them all. In a world of ADCs, one man is king. It is ruler standing above them all. In a world of ADCs, one man is king. It is ruler standing above them all. In a world of ADCs, one man is king. It is ruler standing above them all.
What an introduction to today's match. Welcome everyone to the upper bracket final between T1 and JDG. Live from the top of our introduction to today's match. Welcome everyone to the upper bracket. I just love so much fun that video. Faker live from the top of our introduction to today's match. Welcome everyone to the upper bracket. I just love so much fun that video. Faker live from the top of our introduction. So many comments are many of a shock for joining my dog this match. So much fun that video. Faker live. So sign saying my flight is at 8:07 tonight. T130 JDG.
Oh, you could make it to 5.
You can make that. So it's like, it's pretty far though. If it's from Heathrow, I think he'll be
Okay, that's
driving
quite
for a
the
while.
trek. That's quite the trek.
But hey, welcome to my analysts. Can someone summarize for me how excited we should be ahead of this day?
Quite.
It's a banger! I'm so ready.
That was so British.
Very,
and it's a banger.
unbelievably.
Unbelievably. But it does come in contrast to what we saw yesterday because we had to say goodbye to the last remaining team from the LCS as Gen G demolished Cloud9 in a clean sweep.
Anh đơn sáng ở trên màn hình.
Punches into the back line, but the damage is over.
Anh đơn sáng ở trên màn hình.
Two men. As Berserker beautifully punches into the back line, but the damage is over.
Anh đơn sáng ở trên màn hình.
Two men North America. Berserker beautifully punches into the back line, but the damage is over.
Anh đơn sáng ở trên màn hình.
Two men North America. Berserker beautifully punches into the back line, but the damage is over.
Anh đơn sáng ở trên màn hình.
Two men North America. Berserker beautifully comes from front. Help! What was he doing there? Also I think it's just how Australia are snowballed that lead as well. Like the way they're able to find moments to win mid priority, even a match of three, I think it's just how them moving their snowballed that lead as well. Right? The way they're able to find moments to we're reaching priority, even a match of three, I think it's really interesting as well. Then they bring these super turn. The way they're able to find moments to priority, we're reaching priority, even a match of three, I think it's really interesting as well. Then they bring these super turn. The way they're able to find moments to priority, we're reaching priority, even a match of three, I think it's really interesting as well. Then they bring these super turn. The way they're able to find moments to priority, we're reaching priority, even a match of three, I think it's really interesting as well. Then they bring these super turn. The way they're able to find moments to priority, we're reaching priority, even a match of three, I think it's really interesting as well. I want to draw your attention
particular things, but that's up there. And we're showing it a couple of different ways, but to show actually two particular things, but that's on this stage. And we're showing it to the wall a couple of different ways, but stun on to show actually only two spins on this stage. And we're showing it to the wall a couple of different ways, but stun on to show actually okay, so one fall off on this stage. And we're not going to the wall. You think you go on stun on to show actually okay, so one fall off on this stage. And we're not even on the fall. And that's actually where the focus comes from. So what they did is doing okay, they're not even on the fall. He's not been able to go on the focus from the and they decide to win it at 7 okay. Now they're not even on the fall. He's not been able to go on the focus from the moment that they decide to win it at 7 decide to win it. They're not even on the fall. He's not been able to go on the focus from the moment that they decide to win it. They're not even on the fall. He's not been able to go on the focus from the moment that they decide to win it. Gets a knockup with side to wall, and Knight over here is able to get a fatal race. The knockup with side to wall, and Knight over here is able to get a fatal race. And he was wrong. He starts to knock up with side to wall, various numbers work around. He's able to get a fatal race. And he was wrong to someone to have a 5 various numbers work around. So in this fight, he was wrong to someone to have a 5 various numbers work around. So in this fight, white people all are trying to get some right and the right here is when the season so in this fight, white people all are trying to get some other people right and the right here is when the season someone else got it right. White people right here trying to get some other people right and the right here is when the season someone else got it right. Rather than saying, oh my god, other 80 characters here, why someone else got it right. Rather than saying, oh my god, forgetting our 80 characters over here, why someone else got it right. Everyone is saying, oh my god, forgetting our 80 characters over here, why someone else got it right. Everyone is saying, oh my god, win the fight on 80 characters over here, why someone else got it right. Everyone is saying, oh my god, win the fight on 80 characters over here, why someone else got it right. It seemed like it was a like they go in, that was the same all of our stuff here. It seemed like it was any of those spells right now, that was the same all of our stuff here. Those spells, it just connects very here. Any of those spells right now, that was the same all of our stuff here. Those spells, it just connects very here. Any of those spells right now, that was the same all of our stuff here. Those spells, it just connects very here. Any of those spells right now, that was the amazing all of our here. Those spells, it just connects very here.
I think it's not only the fact that they understand how quickly they're able to pick up the spell, it makes it so difficult for you to actually try to beat. I think it's not only the fact that oh, well, I'm going to go for Almas parry, how quickly they're able to heavy play as well, it makes it so difficult for you. I think they still will be high world. I think it's not only the fact oh, well, I'm going to go for Almas parry, how quickly they're able to heavy play as well, it makes it so difficult for you. I think they still will be high world. I think it's not only the fact oh, well, I'm going to go for Almas parry, how quickly they're able to heavy play as well, it makes it so difficult for you. I think they still will be high world. I think it's not only the fact oh, well, I'm going to go for Almas parry, how quickly they're able to heavy play as well, it makes it so difficult for you. I think they still will be high world. I think it's not only the fact oh, well, I'm going to go for Almas parry, how quickly they're able to heavy play.
Onto Peanut now, just trying to find the Poppy Trophy though. He's going to make his way just to make it still the Poppy Trophy though. Just going to make his way just to make it still the Poppy Trophy though. Just going to make his way just to make it still the Poppy Trophy though. Just going to make his way just to make it still
both heralded as such important right laners who have they both their fans like such important right laners who have they both their fans like such important right laners who have they both their fans like such important right laners who have they both their fans like such important right laners who have they both their fans like
These are two that ain't cash source on RE parties. So these are two that ain't cash source on RE. We're starting to see that these are two that ain't cash source. We need one RE. We're starting to top esports overall. We need one RE. We're starting to top esports overall. We need different RE. We're starting to top esports overall. We need different RE. We're starting to top esports overall. We need different RE. We're starting to top esports overall. We need different RE. We're starting to top esports overall. We need different RE. We're starting to top esports overall. We need different RE. We're starting to top esports overall. We need different RE. We're starting to top esports overall. We need different RE. We're starting to top esports overall. We need different RE. We're starting to top esports overall. We need different RE. We're starting to top esports overall. We need different RE. We're starting to top esports overall. We need different RE. We're starting to top esports overall. We need different RE. We're starting to top esports overall. We need different RE. We're starting to top esports overall. We need different RE. We're starting to top esports overall. We need different RE. We're starting to top esports overall. We need different RE. We're starting to top esports overall. We need different RE. We're starting to top esports overall. We need different RE. We're starting to top esports overall. We need different RE. We're starting to top esports overall. We need diff I think JDG is stronger already against the JDG. I think JDG is stronger already against the JDG. I think JDG is stronger already against the JDG. I think JDG is stronger already against the JDG.
Really
Nice find from the Amazon.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to MSI 2023. We're up to game number 2. JDG, ladies and gentlemen, to MSI 2023. We're up to game number 2. JDG, ladies and gentlemen, to MSI 2023. We're up to game number 2.
3 finals.
JDG, ladies and gentlemen, to MSI
Lower bracket
2023.
finals
We're up to
and the
game
grand final.
number 2.
3 finals. Lower bracket finals and the grand final. 3 finals. Lower bracket finals and the grand final. 3 And to me, the biggest thing about this, and why I'm not like, oh god, it's going to be a 3-0, is because it didn't look like it was a play issue. It looked more like a draft, a compositional issue. Once we saw how JDG were really playing out that draft, how many answers they had for what T1's composition really wanted to get done, it just kind of felt like they had been absolutely checkmated. You know, JDG were playing it out perfectly and had drafted that perfect comp to really answer what T1 wanted to do. So now we're going to see those adjustments here on blue side.
Yeah, I think it was also a situation where even if, say, the coin flips the other way, Owner does get that kill, they snowball early, I think they would have ran into a lot of the same issues, particularly with how good JDG is fighting. T1 also seeming to know that the move on, not those delays, Navi has been throughout the entirety of playoffs with great efficiency, and the Annie not going to give over here to T1.
Yeah, this is what I was calling for towards the end of the last game. Of course, Annie has just been so incredibly strong in the hands of both of these mid laners. Knight not having played it thus far, but definitely proving that it's something that should be removed as well. Ari going to be taken off the board. Of course, Knight, phenomenal Ari player. As the Maokai left up and available and will be locked away. The Cassante being the final ban is kind of curious, as 369 is going to hover some stuff before he picks a champion.
Yeah, very big swap away here. We saw Owner on the Kindred, wasn't really able to get anything done. Early play didn't work out. The Lance Respite wasn't really able to do anything. I think that Maokai, very similar to what we saw previously with the Braum, and with the brackets, makes it really, really easy and straightforward to play around your AD carry.
I'm really interested. Is JDG going to try to T1 with the red side Scion here? If they do have it, will they try to look for that draft setup? And if T1 sees it coming, will they have their own response prepared, right? Because this is a strategy that they're obviously very familiar with.
And the Zyra Khan here, I like Zyra Khan combo, specifically when it comes to the battle. I think he's changed the range of hard, and it's not like really an actual thought, right? Particularly when we get to the later stage of the game, once the rapid fire cannon come through, we've seen Zyra really struggle with actually getting in range.
Yeah, just take a train.
Yeah.
Pretty much is how you're supposed to do it. The Maokai will provide some space here for T1. I actually really like Maokai at the moment. I think it's absolutely far and away so far. But let's have a look at what these next round of bans are going to be. Because like you say, the T1 bot lane defense strategy that 369 can employ is certainly looming. And there is the Gwen ban. This is the way I like teams to play into the Scion, is to pick something that can carry from top lane that could benefit from that empty lane in the early stages.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why I'm such a fan of the Gwen ban, because I think not only can you win in that 1v1, but you can actually bring that power to a 5v5, unlike some of the other picks that are actually considered to be good carry picks against Sion, which I do think things like the Fiora are much more difficult to actually 5v5 on, right? Sure, you can create that individual advantage, but can you actually turn that into a 5v5 advantage where the games are decided?
I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being on. Personally, I think we've seen a few of the little hovers. I actually, particularly with Ricardo, we already have frontline. I do think that the right champion that can both benefit from having a couple of minutes, in lane without being matched by the Sion. But hasn't come through so far in Winter Duno, particularly with the Jace already banned away. The Cannon and Gnar kind of mainstays. Expected to see him pick up either of those here.
Yeah, if it was Bin, I would be like ban the Jax away as well, but I think the Jace in Zeus' case makes a lot of sense. Final ban from T1 has come through. They are thinking about what they are going to do. They're expecting another jump. Further, but no, will be Knight's Syndra. An understandable ban away. You can see Knight pretty happy about the respect being given.
I mean, that is his signature pick, right? This guy is unreal on the Syndra.
We've seen Velvet hovered a whole bunch of times, so I'm not expecting Ziggy today. Just a bit of hovering the Sivani, and we'll lock that one away. So not as exciting, yes, but still.
It also does set up for those potential mid-lane aggressive picks, melee picks that can come through. We don't need to see where Faker takes us, because the only pick that is up and available that he's played so far already is the Nautilus, right? The K'Sante's gone, the Annie is gone. Tristana mid would be interesting. RT1 going to be going towards double marksman again. We do know that this can be flexed towards top. I know that I think it was Doran actually played Tristana top as well, so there is potential for that to be flexed around, but you definitely are expecting it to be mid lane. And I'll be really interested to see what the answer is there from Knight, because I don't think Tristana is always going to have the easiest time, especially when it is flying.
If it's like Tristana Gragas here though, or I guess on theoretically flex, you're gonna have to go back a few years to really find it, but it is gonna be on locked away. Zeus has been putting a bunch of time into the Tristana top as well, like you were talking about, so theoretically Faker can be on the on in the mid lane if he would like to, but Knight, okay, considering the Cassiopeia for now.
Well, this is actually a really tough matchup for Tristana. It's going to be very difficult to actually win out in this. Cassio can just harass the Tristana very heavily in the 1v1. You can win a lot of the all-in. If Tristana's jumping in with the rocket jump, it's very easy to actually just drop the miasma on her, drop the Q on her, and you can win out in some of those all-ins. So it's also a pick that scales incredibly well. Range can be the difficulty for Cassio. It's how are you going to play it out in the 5v5 where there's a lot of engagements, a lot of CC from that T1 side. But I think this is a great answer. This is something I've been seeing a lot of players go to in solo queue as an answer to that Trist mid. So excited to see Knight bring it out and want to see how he can perform.
Also puts a lot more attention to mid lane. I think both Tristana and Cassio can really struggle with the time where they can't hit kind of damage thresholds that you're looking for. And even though it has been a very bot-side focused meta, it's still kind of good comparison to how right? And they just basically died full-on 3v3 for the first 2 minutes of the game. So both Owner and Kanavi, I think, going to be able to try and get the mid laners ahead. Top lane, it's tank versus tank. I think it might see the science trap, but outside of that, don't expect anything crazy to go down for.
You also have to remember that Miasma as a follow-up to other CC, if you can hit someone with a 20 ultimate, you can drop the W onto someone like the Trick, onto someone like the Rakan, the Maokai. All these champions cannot actually get out of that very easily. You can even disrupt the Ornn ultimate, if he actually goes for the R, you can drop the Miasma on him as he's looking to R2, he can't actually redirect, so there's a lot of annoying little interactions there. I think Faker's job in this lane is really to not interact with the Cassio, it's actually just try to avoid all his Qs and just hard shove and just try to scale and try to not fight that guy. Because I don't think it's going to go well for Faker if they are trading back and forth.
No, exactly right. He wants to just fire minion waves into the Cassiopeia as often as possible. Let's see how it goes. We are on the rift here for game number 2. T1 now on the blue side. JDG on red. Gumayushi going to spot them out, give them some feathers there. And 369 already where a Sion belongs in the early game. And that is bottom lane very close to a turret.
You can see the response though from T1. They are going to be potentially moving up into this topside jungle. So where will they start? T1 obviously having done this strategy themselves, really curious to see what the response is going to be. Obviously, the early information is so important.
Faker still hasn't seen any of JDG there, as all of them just sitting in this one brush. I really hope that Faker decides that this is the time where he doesn't want to venture into the river toward. But I'm still nervous. Okay, spots all of them out, walking towards that bottom side red buff.
T1 are positioning like they want to fight this. Faker is moving down. Maokai is actually starting on Wolf, so they're going to try to harass here and try to delay.
This is very interesting. They spot them out immediately. Ward goes over. They clear it out as Missing is just trying to keep them at bay. And T1 know exactly what this strategy is going to be, but JDG playing it out pretty comfortably so far.
But also really good to notice that, right? And into specifically Jinx and Lulu, actually fighting for early prio was going to be extremely hard.
Look at Owner. He's coming. So they want to try to position with 4 members bot to try to actually harass here and stop this. Faker is coming down.
Yeah, they have full information. There is the grand entrance. The knockback's going to come through. The flashes to come out there. Owner's going to get stunned up with the permafrost, but it's first blood going to Faker, immediately answered by Knight here. Both mid laners walk out 1-0. Kanavi maybe in a little bit of trouble, but no, it's just going to be a feather or two, as now Knight is going to come on over to Faker here. These twin bangs just layering on top of Faker. Knight is going to go down, and it's going to be an extra added assist for Missing on top of it somehow.
Oh, and with no flash on either mid laner now, that mid lane, I expect to see more attention towards her. Also, who knows? T1, yes, they're able to get a kill, but Ruler was able to get full experience, whereas the bot lane for T1 gonna be put on the back foot right from the get-go, right? Yuma and Carrier were, I think, missing at the very least the first, maybe a wave and a half worth of experience here, where Ruler was just shoving without a character.
Absolutely. Yuma had to use his potion for this fight as well, which is very problematic. But T1's answer is clearly just, we're just going to fight. They're actually just going to battle for this. Owner started Wolves, passed down, gets level 2, comes to actually fight. And yes, they do get that first kill, but Knight gets a kill of his own. And then this is what I'm talking about. If you connect on the Q, he gets that early level 2, there's just nothing Faker can do in this situation. He's on an E-Star, he has no flash. The Q follows, he flashes through, lands that last twin bang. So 2 kills early to the Cassio. Knight can be feeling really happy. Yes, it is 2 kills on Faker's side, but again, I do think I really favor the Cassio in this 1v1, and if Cassio can get those scaling items in quick, looks like he's building towards a catalyst. You know, if you can get that Roa really early, have that stacking up, it's going to become problematic.
Accelerated game potentially for both of these mid laners. Of course, Tristana does like to get to those spikes a little bit earlier, as well as now 369 does still have flash. He's going to use it right now. He's slowed down by all of these saplings. Bramble smash to push him back in. Kanavi's going to come up 50% health. Decent Q there. He's going to knock up one. Is now T1. They're desperate to try and find one of these. Permafrost is going to keep Owner at bay, but Faker is moving in now. There's the immediate flash out as well. Double knock up from Zeus as they take the first one, and Faker is going to look to try and take down 369. He's knocked up though, and Zeus tanked the turret for as long as he could, and Faker's going to get it with the explosive charge.
It starts out as a wet noodle fight, and then Faker shows up, and then he says, hey, this isn't fair.
How dare you bring a gun to our wet noodle fight?
What a roam though from Faker, getting up towards top side there, changing everything, because if Faker was not coming, JDG just can continue to fight that 2v2, and I think they win it. So instead it is a 2-for-0 clean for T1 on that top side, thanks to the roam for Faker, who gets another kill. And Missing it just being so annoying here. He couldn't break the shield there, unfortunately, not quite enough AP.
Yep, Zyra can't move P and getting back, as it turns out. Check this out one more time, Chronicle.
And it starts off, Tristan is able to flash the initial knockup from Zeus, and this early on in particular, cooldowns are still very high, right? But the moment that Kanavi arrives, you do see T1 really needs to respect permafrost in these early skirmishes, can get a lot done, but because Owner is able to move out, get away, they can prolong the fight up until Faker shows up, and this knockup from Zeus comes up huge.
Pixels in the 369 that you saw him thinking that he was just out of range charging that Q would have been a huge difference.
I mean, that was really close to being able to hold on there with 369. Oh yeah. I mean, you can tell you're really stressed. You already lost one game. If you start to fall behind in game 2, you really start getting nervous here. But JDG down to this bottom side, trying to take first dragon here. load up. It's a guaranteed Q generally from there. And as long as Casio has that poison on you, you're always going to win on the trades with the spin pegs. And you're...
Oh dear, okay, Kanavi. Gonna make it rock jump over that wall. Permafrost is in the air as well, but he's going to be able to walk up. Quiet for this one. Sapling there though, and looks like we're going to be able to secure. There it is.
But they lose Prio and bot side, right? They lose control of their bot side jungle, and now it's 4-man bot here. Knight does have flash, and he has ulti. He could look over the wall.
Yeah, there it is. Not going to be able to get the snares. Good knock off to come through from Carrier there, but he's going to take up the turret for as long as he needs to, and now Carrier, a sitting duck underneath this turret. The poison is going to connect. There's the permafrost, and Ruler gets hand-delivered a kill.
Beautifully done there from JDG. That bot jungle pressure. Yes, it did not kill the red buff, but they push out T1. They get the 4-man play on bot side. They get the 2 versus 0. Baker's going to get some plays back mid. Going to be able to deny some minions, but it is a bigger victory on that bottom side because it is getting Ruler ahead of Gumayushi once again.
And crucially, the only one that has teleport here to join the play is Zaya. He's not able to. It's still laning versus 369. So after the invade, not necessarily going out, rotation coming through. And as you point out, with no Prio and no ults available, there's no way to remove this play.
Exactly. I mean, Baker had already been chunked earlier, right? Previous to that play. That one got a little bit dicey, but he went 2 strike down on the top side. They take the Herald away. You know, it all comes back to that initial play where Navi is getting the jump on Baker, pushing him down in the jungle. Then they can't take a 2v2 because they're down in HP. Then they can't defend the bot side dive because they lose control of the jungle. And it's this play that you really love to see, and it's been signature here at MSI. Getting control of mid is not really always about getting your mid laner ahead. It's about being able to transition that to bot.
Yeah, the really cool thing is it all comes from that level 1 play as well, because Ruler has that slight experience lead. Gumayushi's being denied, and then he's level 5 on defense instead of having the defense top. It is just so cool that everything is sort of coming back to these kids. Trying to comprehend, and I just can't quite get there right now.
I do want to highlight that I do think that one of the big advantages we see from Baker, there are a lot of champions who hold this is that in a roam that you don't get in because you get time to might be enough experience to come close to that. The Herald, when the next rig comes around, they do need that make it work with a lot
Well, and again, they're facing similar issues to last time. They do have some AP Malphite, but an AP Malphite is not going to force a Scion to build magic. It's going to be an armor stacking Scion here, and Casio becomes a tank. Once you actually do get to those later stages, you know, you do get Gargoyles don't play generally as a fourth item. People are going Paralyze, you know, and they're getting Roa, they're grabbing, you know, they're tier stacking that up. So you have the tier shields, you have the Roa for HP, you get towards Gargoyles, you actually have some real tankiness. I've even seen against AD heavy comps like this, some Casios go towards Frozen Heart, which can also be pretty effective. So there is armor stacking capabilities on multiple members on the JDG side.
And I think Chronica and I have exactly the same idea, because you don't see the Sunfire.
and Orn.
What do you say to that? Orn is a mage, assassin.
He knows the damage, but he's still not forcing any MR, my friend.
Well, that's the whole point. You don't know how much damage he does. No one's just will be
Check the numbers at the end of that Sunfire cape as they all.
We absolutely
We'll check the numbers on the Casio as well. See which one.
I don't know about that.
All jokes aside, I think you're absolutely right. Certainly far more balanced in JDG composition. Baker's draw of 8 is going to take a few levels to get the range up, but it does mean that he is going to have that range to go as Zayas. I can see it. Just so much gameplay here towards the top side, but it is going to be Zayas finding a few angles. Kanavi, Glacial Prison going to come down there. T1 standing their ground, only 50% health taken there from Ona, but they do get them out of the river.
It's actually so important though. 369 is trying to stay on top of Zayas because Zayas has TP and he does not. So if they lose track of Zayas, JDG will have to give up this dragon. And I think that's the situation that they're going to find themselves facing with. I don't think they're going to be to take a potential 4v5 if Zeus is able to join with that Ornal.
And now it's going to be the Rifter completely denied in this mid lane. T1 do use it to get some control of the river. I don't know whether that's exactly working.
Yeah, I think so the one other thing outside of some plays for Faker, that makes the run completely negated.
I'm going to be able to make their way towards this Cloud Drake here. No one denies T1 Cloud Drakes. My experience, and I don't keep track of Cloud Drakes. Like that one here. So it is going to be Infernal Soul as well. This is going to be huge.
And I'm really looking forward to the first actual fight. We haven't really seen this one in previous games. We've JDG fighting about kind of snowballing from there. Both compositions, the amount of engagement, definitely LDR, you can actually shred more flying, but you need to not just take this lead as Kraken Slayer comes through, but build upon it further. And I think that's why that Herald mid was such a must opportunity, because if you do actually get like maybe a couple of photos and it's charging short, you can get that.
Sitting that goal lead, I do think it is really important. JDG, I don't really feel like there's any pressure on them to get anything done. It's going to take the fight that looks very good to you, but when you're playing Cassio, Jinx, multiple frontliners, and then his JR support, you're down to go 50 minutes. You're down to play this as long as T1 want to. We'll have to see, if T1 is going to push the pace of the game, or, if I'm wrong and the physical damage is not really going to matter. I think he's outplaying the team by utilize Carrier with this explosive engage to find that follow-up from Zeus and really eliminate the DPS right off the bat. And then all of a sudden, the damage doesn't really matter.
Because I think that's the biggest ability to start fights is a lot stronger. Now, of course, it's counter-engage. We talked about a lot. They are really good at ebb and flow, but the fact that T1 can start fights and be important as we get to the later stages, particularly with objectives being very evenly spread as well.
Absolutely. I mean, they have really all the good go buttons this game. Yes, there is Sejuani ult. Yes, there is Sion ult, but it's not nearly as reliable as something like Carrier or Flash just in advance, or even that Horn ulti. But the counter engage. Yeah.
Pretty ridiculous.
Great
Now they're going to go for the point-blank ulti, but yeah, exactly right. The buffer is going to be there. Nature's Grasp going to come down. Miasma causing a few issues, but it's not going to be the greatest petrifying gaze. As now Knight taking so much damage here from Faker. Oh my goodness, the AoE ruler taking matters into his own hands here. Still has Super Mega Death Rocket available. T1 are going to back away. In the meantime, though, 369's chilling on the top side of the map, just smacking down the turret.
Yep, someone's going to have to respond to that, but it is going to be T1 moving into the top side river. They're going to be starting up this Herald, utilize the chunk they got on Knight, utilize the ulti down from him and Kanavi to be able to start it up. And that's really all thanks to Faker. It's a great buffer on that ulti. He's able to jump out, then get a chunk down on Knight. He doesn't get stunned up by that Cassio ult. That was a good attempt at a steal from Ruler, but T1 well aware of it. And will be able to extend their gold lead.
He was aiming for Zeus to win out that top lane matchup. Knows how important that is.
High five.
So, yep, you can understand that one. Knight here towards his bottom side, though, is just taking this out of turret. In the meantime, and this is what we've been seeing sort of all tournament long by the Eastern teams, is being able to know exactly where to be to maximize the amount of gold earned on these maps. And Knight continuing to do so here on this bottom side.
Do know, if there's no cross-muff from T1, like, you're going to give over first turret blood, going to be a huge influx of gold here with no real counterplay, right? You see 369 holding the top wave. There isn't really an opportunity to dive a Sion at this point in the game. Ruler and Missing holding down mid lane. As a result, gold now, 60 minutes, basically dead even.
Yeah, dead even, but again, it is that gold right where you want it for JDG. It is Ruler 1,000 gold up on Kumiyushi. Slight advantage there for Faker of about 400 gold, but the real edge is on the top side for T1, which is not going to be as impactful here, having it on the Ornn, having it on the Maokai.
Yep, big spike as well with the Rylai's and the Rod of Ages now stacking, looking towards that Seraph's Embrace for Knight. He's going to get more and more powerful as all these synergistic items come in together. Kumiyushi feeling a little bit in danger here in this mid lane, and I don't blame him with Kanavi waiting in the wings.
And that's why Cassio is so frustrating to play against at times, because it is so difficult to burst this champion down because you can build so much HP. You get that Seraph, you get the shield from that as well as they're going for the engage.
In they go. Yeah, the quickness going to charm up. Kanavi does land the ultimate, but not going to really get too much done as 369 is going to teleport in. And JDG going to be able to get out of there.
That's both sums off Ruler, though, and that is massive here. We'll see if T1 are going to be able to find any sort of a fight.
30 seconds on this Infernal Drake. Zeus slinks back into Fog of War. The rest of the 4 T1 members in this mid lane trying to hold on. As JDG move on in, 369, just trying to be a little bit tricky here with what remains of the brush here around the red buff. Infernal Rift does make things a little bit bare.
And JDG also doesn't want to just give T1 free access, right? If you go all in on that Dragon, T1 with Herald can possibly get 2 turrets right from the get-go, particularly with the pushing power they have as Herald comes down.
Yeah, T1 still trying to hold on to that bot side river, but JDG now 5 members strong, want to stop Shirley from getting towards this turret, but there are so many ultimates flying towards JDG. 369 can have to flash immediately to get himself out of the way. The turret is going to fall, but the stun is just massive. Low health bars absolutely everywhere as Kanavi's going to be the one to take down Owner in the end. And it's 2 kills for JDG. Gumayusi trying to kite back, and Faker has to rocket jump as well. Still damage available and low health bars on JDG, but they lose no one.
As the T1 frontline step forward, so does Knight, and he's just shredding through Zeus on that top side of the fight. It's 2 for 0. Sure, T1 do get that turret, but it's JDG looking for the Dragon. Can T1 find an in?
3 versus 5. I don't know about this one.
Risky.
As Gumayusi and Faker, fair bit of damage like we said, as they're not going to be able to take this Dragon. JDG, now can they find the fight as Featherstorm goes in a direction I don't think he was intending, but does avoid the Glacial Prison.
And it is JDG picking up the win there. T1, all they get is a mid lane turret. I think really big there, the second activation of Zeus' ultimate did get interrupted,
Was
right?
it the miasma?
No,
the
it's,
knockouts?
it's 369, yeah. On the Cyan, able to cancel that. If they can chain another set of Riddle procs, I think they might get through the front line. But instead, as you point out, Owner and Zeus are just getting demolished, whereas the backline, look at Ruler and Knight, completely untouched in these fights. They get to output as much damage as they want.
And that's the power of the miasma. Zeus steps forward, all of a sudden there's a miasma behind you. You cannot walk into the miasma as Faker and Guma to actually just get damage out. There's no way you can walk through that. So there's just this massive zones of control created by the miasma on one side, the Scion as well as the Sejuani on the other side, and they're just experts at making space for Ruler and Knight here to really maximize damage.
Yeah, Carrier is possibly in a bit of danger here, but he's going to be able to slink away. Fair bit of mobility on the Rakan, so maybe he's going to be all right. Owner takes his blue buff.
One highlight as well, Faker also clearly realizing we need a way to chew through these front lines. Yes, we have Demonic Embrace, but as you highlighted, Azil, that's never going to be enough damage to actually get through the JDG front line. So that Lord Dominic's, that'll be something that T1 is going to rely upon if they do actually want to win these front-to-back team fights.
And then we'll see, can Faker actually have enough time in these fights to free fire and knock through those? Because there is going to be threat of that counter engage. There is going to be Knight that's in the mix, this mid-range champion who's going to be looking to fire on you anytime you are attacking his tanks.
Here on the bottom side, once again, it is just going to be 369 and Zeus throwing abilities at one another. So a perfect time to take stock. It's 20 minutes. And last time around, we were very denied when it comes to the Baron attempts. It took multiple minutes before we did get there. This time around, Purple Worm is going to spawn. Faker in the area, but JDG are paying it the most attention right now. Faker has rocket jump. He's going to be fine to get out of here if JDG do come on over, and gives Baron a bit of a parting gift.
Something we also haven't mentioned, in addition to all the other stuff, is that Ruler actually got a call early, right? And Guma never did. Guma wasn't able. That's a lot of extra gold that is in the pocket of Ruler in addition to all the other attention that he has gotten. And it's like you were saying earlier, Zone, I think you can really see it there in the previous fight, is where you want the goal to be, right? Because if you have a little bit more DPS, then maybe the fight goes the other way. The moment that Tristana starts resetting, that you can actually play further forward, T1 might have an angle, but as long as JDG gets to control the ebb and flow, and 369 and Kanavi doing such a good job of providing that reliable front line.
I mean, the fights are really about hitting that critical mass, or all of a sudden the enemy front line can no longer hold up, especially when you're playing against enchanters. It's actually so critically important to be able to overwhelm the front line with damage, because it's so difficult to punch through a Scion and a Sejuani, let alone when there's a Lulu shielding them up and ulting them and so on behind.
Well, so far, things are sort of calming down on the Rift. For the moment, we are moving into podcast territory. Absolutely love it. As Knight and Faker just moving their lane towards the top side to try and ping-pong some of these waves. We're back down here where the brawling never stops. So if you're worried about action and things like this, you just always look towards this bottom lane as London understands this is where the action is.
Atlas, is it a brawl if they're always fighting?
Absolutely.
Still
it's
is?
just a constant
continuous,
brawl.
yeah.
I mean, at some point, if that's your continuous state, I don't know if it still qualifies.
It's just existence?
Yeah.
All right. So
that's just life.
Their existence is there on the bottom side.
Yeah.
I think it's still brawling though, even if it is
I just
give the top laner something. Come on, man.
Hey, they get
They're
to
locked
play.
on tanks.
They get to feel good about supporting their friends.
Well, every
That's
time
more
I see
something.
No top laners feel good about that. They don't want to support their friends. They want their friends to support them.
It's very true. As I just look at it as more value for the Sunfire Cape.
True.
For what we're going to refer to towards the end of the game. That's what I'm
The problem is, though, Sion also has a Sunfire Cape, so you've been countered.
I know, well, this is the point. It's all Sunfire Cape, right? So damage
all
on
the
both
way
sides.
down.
The whole
I'm
time?
psyched about it, yeah.
You seeing Kanavi's inventory?
Oh, there we go. Oh, no. Will it just be Sunfire diff?
Oh, but see, the thing is, it's not really a fair fight because Zeus can upgrade his Sunfire Cape.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Tough.
Didn't think about that one,
Tough
did you?
calculation.
That's true. Never really looked at it as teleport is going to come forward. Okay, T1 going to look for some action here as Ona throws down the ultimate. Zeus going to do the same thing. Flashes forward to find the Ram Ruler. Still going to be alive though. He has the wild growth available and now he's going to start those shots. Zeus going to be able to get himself out of there as the flash from Missing is going to get him to relative safety. As in goes Carrier. They knock up 369. Miasma going to try to be avoiding it by Vega, but immediately he's polymorphed and he's taken down. The knockups come through Knight. He's going to be punished and now it's Gumayuki that rips them to shreds. It's a quadra kill and he gets denied by Owner on the Penta, but they'll be happy with a win in the team fight.
And critical mass
This could
has
be
been
game.
reached. They're going to keep on pushing.
Yeah, could just be the end here as the inhibitor turret going to be the first one to go down. Owner's throwing presence into this mid lane and we should have known. We saw this, it's around the 25-minute mark. They beat Gen G exactly the same way. Look for the first Nexus turret here as T1, they still have so much damage.
Take a TP.
Yeah, he can just come immediately towards this one, and I don't think there's going to be much of an option. JDG, 4 of them are up and available. Tsumega Death Rocket is going to be blocked. As Gumayuki trying to get those autos in. Can they keep it alive? Faker is going to turn up, and there it is. Game 2 goes to T1.
What an ending out of nowhere. T1 go crazy in the mid lane. The engage from Carrier was massive. And then initially looked like JDG were going to be able to disengage that fight. We're going to be able to stabilize,
that
get back to their base.
Right?
Yeah, that polymorph on Faker as he jumped in. Looked like it could have been the game changer there in that fight, but just out of nowhere, Guma has been untouched. Carrier goes in, Guma goes wild, gets a quadra, and T1 just bet it all on ending the game right there.
Guess what? They didn't even need a Baron.
Oh no, they've been unlocked. We don't even need to go to the Baron flips. But no, it's so reminiscent to what we saw, right? You slow the game down and then you just find your angle. Last time it was Gen G engaging into them. This time it was Carrier just finding that angle. Still, man, it was neck and neck for so very long. Even halfway through that team fight, it was looking okay. But as soon as there is that slight advantage, and the double 80 carry is certainly working out well here for T1.
Absolutely. I mean, the leak became a waterfall, like everything all at once. Just
sometimes
through.
the tank just explodes instead of there being that leak first, you know? That's sort of how it goes. But that is it from us for this game. Let's see what the analyst desk felt about that one.
Atlas, I blinked.
I'm stunned.
I blinked and it was over. How about you?
Yeah. What a banger. Like, you know, at the beginning of this game, Shock said to us, you know what I would love in this game is if we could have one really cool JDG team fight, and then we could have one really cool T1 team fight, and then immediately we got both of those awesome things.
And nothing else.
Nothing else. Well, actually, we do have one thing that we want to run through, which was this early game, because we're going to be talking a lot about these team fights, of course, but the Sion invade, we have been seeing a lot at this tournament, and different teams have come up with different ways to shut it down. This was T1's strategy of shutting it down, and it was to actually just straight up fight it.
Yeah, and they wanted to try and match the invade. You can see already they pulled their bot lane across as well to make sure problem with this is you've still got Ruler is going to be pushing in that bot side. So despite the fact that they do try and go for this invade and try and match, or sorry, try and match the invade, you actually end up in a position where you end up trading 1 for 1 as they start to come across, thanks to the ability for JDG to just pull it back. You don't really get Ruler usually involved in a lot of this fight, and then once you trade 1 for 1, Ruler's still in a good spot in the bot lane.
I think the other big thing is the fact that, as Rick said, because they're able to get that kill on tonight, it makes this idea not as promising in the early game. And then we were talking about, is this really worth it for Knight? We were saying from a mental perspective, yes, but from a positional percentage, no. The way it was pushing into you, it doesn't really work out in his favor. And at this point, though, we thought, okay, JDG already off to a pretty promising start with Ruler pushing in bot, but then it felt like that this early game was going very back and forth with how much more unlocked the mid lane is really.
I just gotta say, that's like you're watching and you feel that what Knight wants. I just can't not get this kill. I just can't not, right, Jack?
I agree, and if you can blow open the early game, you can make a difference. I think that ended up neutralizing the early game of the song, and then the game became all about team fighting. And this was some of the most front-to-back team fighting. Definition of front-to-back. What you mean by front-to-back is you'll have your front line right here, and then your back line right here. So that would be JDG. And then T1 is front-to-back. And there's a few angles that I want to show. Let's roll this clip for team fighting. And generally speaking, you think tanks in front, carries on the side, but what's more important is who can hit and who can hit. And let's pause it here, because I just want to be able to draw your eyes tonight. He's the reason the first fight went well for JDG, because specifically Knight draws attention to himself and basically stops Faker, who's kind of in this clump, from being able to hit. So the main thing that decided this first fight was Knight's ability to get access to damage and Faker's inability to get access to damage. So let's roll this clip right here. And everyone is taking as much damage, the front is taking as much damage as they can while their back hits. But when Knight moves up, he baits everyone to come through, and he actually buys a bunch of time without his front line having to take damage. And now, just watch Faker in the back here. He's really unable to get auto attacks off as the fight is falling apart around him, and this is where it felt like, oh my god, is JDG going to 2-0 the series? This looks like a superior front-to-back team fighting team comp. Tristana can never access damage against Cassiopeia, but that changed in the second fight.
Yeah, we'll see it in just a second, Dagda, but I think you were feeling the same thing what Jad is laying out here. The fact that they seem so incredibly crisp, Ruler just doesn't die, and I guess there's a lot of frustration probably at that point coming out of the side of T1 specifically. She probably feels like, listen, I don't feel like I can really do anything.
I think that's what we talked about when we were talking about in the middle of the game, was like, hey, you know, what do we think? Is there ways for you to get access onto the back line? Because I think when you've got like Miasma, the Sejuani, the strong side of the front line, it's very difficult for you in general to try and get onto space in these fights. Even in that fight there, the Miasma being able to prevent the likes of the Maokai from being able to twist it in advance. You don't get the Ornn in onto the back line. Like, you actually don't get the setup to actually gain access to Ruler. I think that makes such a difference in this one, but it was very different when we got into that second.
Yeah, and
we got the final fight.
Okay, let's go. Take a look at that.
I tried to watch this as many times as possible, so let's put it up on the screen. We can roll it right now, and I'll tell you when to pause. So basically, this fight is different because T1 actually gets access onto Knight. Not to mention, the initial engage doesn't get stopped, so the Ornn goes down, and Ruler gets fairly low at the start, which prevents his ability. But here, if we pause, it is kind of reset again to a front-to-back team fight, right? Ruler is back here, Knight is over here, Guma's hitting, Faker's hitting. Faker gets a lot more hits off in this fight, so let's roll it once again. And as Knight turns to try and get the damage down, he actually, Faker jumps in, this ends up baiting him, so pause it. Even though Faker is down, they've killed one front, so there's not many people left to take damage, and Knight is out of summoner spells. So watch the CC chain that can come on through tonight, and also remember that most of the peel is gone from JDG, and I'm clearing it right now to make it clear that that front-to-back I talked about is gone. It's just a line, so anyone can get hit. So let's roll this clip through. Knight gets CC'd by Zeus, amazing knockup. Guma kills him, the charm then gets him, and remember, they can get access to the CC because the fight lines had been broken for JDG. T1 capitalized, got access to both carries, quadra kill, game. Unbelievable turnaround by T1.
I mean, so much credit needs to go to Zeus in this fight. The initial engage onto the back line that choked him down to half, into the follow-up CC later on in that fight as well. The way in which he was able to get onto the carries both times on the Ornn was the hardest part for them to navigate. You were just talking about it, Dagda. Backline access, how much does T1 really have? It turns out that Zeus was the whole backline access
saw their chance here, and they took it. This does mean that we're all spread out 1-1. JDG now selecting to go to the blue side, guys.
Surprise, surprise! I definitely think this would give you those big advantages, especially when you look towards things like the Santa and the Annie that they had to ban away. I think having the opportunity to actually flex that Annie a little bit is going to be super nice for them. I also just think the opportunity to play back towards what has been the style of, hey, prioritizing the Jinx, which they did get this game, but also just having a bit more of that counter the first pick access to provide that front line a little bit better, even in the role as well, to make sure this Jinx can't get
Yeah, so interesting. I mean, it's Worlds 2022 all over again as T1 tied the series, but JDG will be looking to rewrite history. We'll be right back.
Never seen anybody do that thing to do before. Twin banks just layering on top of Faker. He's gonna go down, and it's gonna be an extra added assist from MSI. Going to keep on her bay, but Faker is moving in now. There's the immediate flash out as well. Double knockout from Zans, and they take the first one. This isn't fair. How dare you bring a gun to our wet noodle fight? They knock up 369 by Asma. Gonna try to be avoiding Faker, but immediately he's pulling up, and he's taken down. The knockouts come through night. He's going to it's a quadrikill and he gets denied by Honor on the Penta, but they'll be happy with a win in the team fight. Never seen anybody do that thing to do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, eh, eh. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. So they say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, oh. Never seen anybody do that thing to do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, eh, eh. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. So they say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, oh. I never seen anybody do that thing to do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, eh, eh. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. So they say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, oh. I never seen anybody do that thing to do before.
New and existing customers can choose the phone they want, like the incredible iPhone 14 on us.
Not to brag, but I'm on Verizon now. And I got to choose the phone I wanted for free. Not that you're bragging.
Choose the phone you want on us. Verizon.
Never seen anybody do that thing to do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, eh, eh. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. So they say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, oh. Never seen anybody do that thing to do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, eh, eh. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. So they say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, oh. Never seen anybody do that thing to do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, eh, eh. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. So they say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, oh. I never seen anybody do that thing to do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, eh, eh. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. So they say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, oh. I never seen anybody do that thing to do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, eh, eh. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. So they say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, oh. I never seen anybody do that thing to do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, eh, eh. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. So they say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, oh. I never seen anybody do that thing to do before.
for me, eh, eh. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. So they say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, oh. I never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, eh, eh. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. So they say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, oh. I never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, eh, eh. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. So they say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, oh. I never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, eh, eh. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. So they say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, oh. I never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, eh, eh. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. So they say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, oh. I never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, eh, eh. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
So
MSI
dance
2023.
for me, dance for me,
We're
dance
here
for
for
me,
game
oh,
number 3. It's best of 3 from now on. Chronicle, you'll be used to this from the LCK. We're pretty comfortable in these situations.
What happens in those? I've never seen one.
Well, a game happens, and then another game happens, and
Doesn't just
potentially
end
there's
after the
another
first
game
one?
after that. Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it's super weird. But
I'm not participating in this bit.
Well, actually, you just did.
But now we have
Great, man. Congratulations. Part of it. Boom.
All right, let's get into it. Now we have a situation where T1 are on the red side once again, much like they were in game number 1. Will they ban Annie? Gentlemen, that's my question.
Yes. That is my answer. I think it was really problematic. JDG
dance for me,
obviously
dance
banned
for
from
me,
red
dance for
side on
me,
game
oh,
number 2. I expect T1 to do the same. T1 won that game, but it's not what I would call like a dominant game. It was so close. It was so back and forth. You know, I think either team could have won from that position. It's one incredible team fight from T1, and then the game is just over like that. So it's going to be really interesting to see what these two teams' reads are, because I think you could both walk away from a game like that saying, our drafts are fine. It wasn't really any problems. You know, it was just about execution of this one thing.
So there was, and here we are into the pick and ban already. Oh, okay. So Annie's left up yet again. Caitlin's going to get hovered before Annie's going to get locked in, is what I'm expecting here.
And no recon for Carrier, so the respect ban coming through as Carrier was explosive on that occasion. A follow-up after that initial engage from owner from Zan.
Nice space, man. He's so excited.
Again? Me? I can get for me? Thank you!
Have they even seen my
It's an interesting read from T1 that the Wukong was the problem in the Annie Wukong combination. As we are going through this very quickly. Cassante, no surprise, but T1 actually going through the Jinx this time around has been a very successful pick. We've seen the fact that the range advantage you have in the Philios can be a really big move, particularly in how it allows you to set up team fights and how you're able to play much further back. The aggressive threat though, particularly with Philios and Annie, like the 100-0 potential, cast your mind back to game number 1, and it looks like another Lulu in the works here.
Yeah, and that is going to be a Philios Lulu combination pick once again. Do they pick up a support here for Carrier, or is it just going to be Nautilus, just to flex it around a whole bunch, much like they did in game number 1? Wasn't a huge fan of the pick into the Annie, but they are still going to go there, and there it is, Faker locking that one away.
I was about to say, like, I think as long as we don't go for Nautilus, you can make the adjustments. I think the Braum ban here needs to 100% come through because, although I guess the Lulu's already plugged in, so scratch that.
Well, I mean, also, like, you can just change your jungler, and I feel like the whole dynamic of that draft does change. I don't think they have to go towards double marksman. If you have something like, you know, a little bit more aggressive that can dive, something along the lines of like a Diego even, who can help to follow up, who can help to actually get that first kill. Things could look really good. You know, getting that first kill with the verse for Jinx, for Viego, could be really, really big. Again, it is going to be the Rumble ban in phase 2 here, as clearly are concerned about that.
Yep. Just banning away these magic damage jungles there as well. Of course, the Malphite was the first ban by T1, so you go down that list just a little bit, and the Rumble is going to be there. Italy, of course, an option, but first ban going to be the Gragas here from T1, and this second one, Silver is going to be here in the second round. This one out. Viego taken away.
I like that ban. I do think Viego is really a good pairing with Danny as well. You know, I talked about the T1 side, but I do think anytime you have really high damage first, pairing with Viego, it's so easy to get that first reset, and he just full dumps all our damage from one target launch on Viego.
And I wonder what the angle for T1 is going to be here now, because the Kindred didn't really end up working out in game number 1. We saw how well JDG was able to deal with that. But you do really want to put Owner on something with aggressive threat here. And Kha'Zix would be in the direction, but it remains as Owner, Rise Smile. Still, the magic damage being so heavily prioritized for T1 means that JDG can pick up something in the ways of frontline here, can itemize very efficiently again.
I think we're pretty much guaranteed to just get double beefy boys for frontline, I think, for JDG. Like, they've clearly shown us how they want to play. I would not be surprised about like Sejuani, Horn, or something along those lines.
Horn, Sejuani,
Horn, Sejuani, yeah.
Spicy.
Another take on the duo.
Zin's out. Never mind.
So it is a very different look. So we want something maybe with a little bit more dueling power, potentially, to mix things up against this Kha'Zix. Zin can actually perform pretty well in frontliner during the ultimate. So
not to mention paired with a Lulu. This is something that we saw at the height of Zin's prowess, was if you pick a Lulu, it gives him so much more longevity in these games. Crescent Guard, of course, giving you a lot of power in that department as well. So the On is going to be paired alongside it. I like how balanced this draft is from JDG. Once again, they are just cleanly picking into their favorite archetype, as that is going to be Gwen insta-lock. No waiting, nothing like that. Zeus going to be taking that magic damage mantle towards the top side of the map.
Yeah, instant snap up there also alleviates a lot of the issues that T1 have run into when it comes to damage types. I do agree with you. I think the composition from JDG, particularly in a meta that is centered around teamfight, it has great non-committal engage. If Annie's flashes up, you can go in aggressively, but the counter engage with Zin and Lulu specifically also is quite strong. And when I look at T1, outside of actually getting a Nautilus hook onto someone, you're going to be very aligned on picks, right? Someone walking where they're not supposed to, or a flank from Gwen or Cassante.
But at the same time, you know, it's like for T1, if the engage goes well, Ruler could just be insta-dead. There are so many threats to actually dive into the backline this time. It is not the situation that we had in game number 1, where T1 had this Nautilus mid who's kind of on his own going in. They have the Cassante to follow up on Keria. They have a Kha'Zix as well as this Gwen to be able to dive back and really threaten Ruler. So I do think it's going to be tough for Ruler to actually find space to sit there and auto against these champions. It's going to be so much about the feeling, so much about the counter engage here from JDG to keep their marksman safe.
Yeah, and a lot of it comes down to as well is, can you get Faker away from him? If he's in all-out range, Ruler can just be pulled out into a 1v1 against a Cassante, and in that scenario, T1 is going to be very, very comfortable. It's going to be a lot about JDG, how they can play out these team fights, and that test they've already passed many times this tournament. Their team fighting has been second to none before this particular series, and as we hop onto Summoner's Rift, we'll see whether they can do it yet again. They make their way out. Very cool, calm, and collected composition. The alliteration was unnecessary. I apologize. Definitely a lot of tools here in the early stages of the game.
I do also really like that Zeus is actually playing towards, you know, there is some benefit to playing towards the Ignite DP in this sort of style, but this is going to be about 5v5. It's not going to be about the 1v1. And the Ghost is so powerful in the 5v5, and even later on in the game, in those long lanes, can be really, really strong.
Also, yeah, I also really like it because I think that particular when you're playing things like Gwen, you can feel very safe due to your E, right in your W, but if you're too far up in top lane and you have Ignite, it still becomes very easily for a jungler, particularly with really strong ganks like the Xin Zhao, to just take you down early. And I do think that if the Gwen starts falling behind, if we get far enough in the game, you're always going to be relevant. But the actual late game, we really haven't been reaching that much this tournament. It has much more been about like the team fighting between like what, 25 and in 35 minutes, someone gets a decisive lead, and from that point on, you don't really get to play the game anymore.
Yeah, the Glens that we have been seeing, though, have been, you know, Bin, who has looked fantastic, and Doran, who has never really been our premier Gwen player. We'll just have to see whether this is going to be some vintage Zeus Gwen towards this top side, because he hasn't played it so far this tournament, and hasn't really been favoring it in the LCK this year as well. So I'm excited to see whether he can get back onto the carry side of these matchups. There's been a lot of tanks for
هاي دارز إذا بدكم تاكلوا رز مع ملوخية أو مع الكفتة. هاي دارز اليوم هيك تيجنا لاقيين مع بعض.
It's going to be also really interesting to see if Team 1 do at all try to change things up, try to prioritize that early drag, and JDG have been going towards that first dragon. Feels like 5-6 minutes so far in this series, really trying to use that soul as a way to force teamfights on their own terms here against T1.
Also want to highlight, Guma has gone for Ghost, which the last time we played against any from Ukraine did go for Cleanse. And you're also playing with a Nautilus. It's not like a Lulu, like Carrier has been really, really good about his materials usage. I'm going to be the case here, which means a lot more agency for 9. And as we saw in the last game, he knows how to use that very, very well. And I think in the early skirmishes and in the fights, you can stay away from that backline dive. It's great, but does mean playing it at much higher risk.
كتير بحبها كفتة وبطاطا بالفرن وهيدي مسخة.
Oh yeah. If you're in range though, oftentimes
وهي
you're dead a lot of the time
الملوخية
anyway.
I like your optimism.
Yeah.
بحب الجامدة.
Probably wanting to
وهي
utilize the rockets as much
إذا
as
بدكم
possible.
تاكلوا رز مع ملوخية أو مع الكفتة. هيدا شو اليوم هيك تيابنا لاقيين مع بعض. ماتشينج شوي. هلا وصلت عند حماتي اليوم الغدا عندها تعالوا شو عملت لنا أكل. وحياة الله حسني قلبي الطنط عاملة هيدي. كتير بحبها. كفتة وبطاطا بالفرن وهيدي مسخة.
I'm going to try and rotate fake it down as well, as there is the hook. It is going to connect, missing going down relatively low, finding the extra rocket after the zap. Not a lot of mana on Gamushi there, as Carrier is just going to
وهي دارز إذا بدكم تاكلوا رز مع ملوخية أو مع الكفتة. هيدا شو اليوم هيك تيابنا لاقيين مع بعض. ماتشينج شوي. هلا وصلت عند حماتي اليوم الغدا عندها تعالوا شو عملت لنا أكل. وحياة الله حسني قلبي الطنط عاملة هيدي. كتير بحبها. كفتة وبطاطا بالفرن وهيدي مسخة.
Much more even thus far than it did in the Nautilus matchup. One of the nice things about Kasante in a matchup like this is that you actually have access to the range champions through the mini wave, right? Like Nautilus actually looks like he's to step outside the mini wave. Kasante with Q3 to be able to just flip in the Annie gives you some recourse in a matchup like this. It also helps you to poke off things like the first strike from time to time. As we know, Knight in that first game got about 300 gold during the laning phase purely from his first strike, which
وحياة الله حسني قلبي الطنط عاملة هيدي. كتير بحبها. كفتة وبطاطا بالفرن وهيدي مسخة. وهي الملوخية. أنا ما كتير بحبها هيدي. بحب الجامدة. هاي دارز إذا بدكم تاكلوا رز مع ملوخية أو مع الكفتة. هيدا شو اليوم هيك تيابنا لاقيين مع بعض. ماتشينج شوي. هلا وصلت عند حماتي اليوم الغدا عندها تعالوا شو عملت لنا أكل. وحياة الله حسني قلبي الطنط عاملة هيدي. كتير بحبها. كفتة وبطاطا بالفرن وهيدي مسخة. وهي الملوخية. أنا ما كتير بحب الجامدة. وهي دارز إذا بدكم تاكلوا رز مع ملوخية أو مع الكفتة. هيدا شو اليوم هيك تيابنا لاقيين مع بعض. ماتشينج شوي. هلا وصلت عند حماتي اليوم الغدا عندها تعالوا شو عملت لنا أكل. وحياة الله حسني قلبي الطنط عاملة هيدي. كتير بحبها. كفتة وبطاطا بالفرن وهيدي مسخة. وهي الملوخية. أنا ما كتير بحبها هيدي. بحب الجامدة. وهي دارز إذا بدكم تاكلوا رز مع ملوخية أو مع الكفتة. هيدا شو اليوم هيك تيابنا لاقيين مع بعض. ماتشينج شوي. هلا وصلت عند حماتي اليوم الغدا عندها تعالوا شو عملت لنا أكل. وحياة الله حسني قلبي الطنط عاملة هيدي. كتير بحبها. كفتة وبطاطا بالفرن وهيدي مسخة.
it's just going to get eliminated as Knight turns up in the nick of time. Ruler's going to get kidnapped, though Faker picks up the kill, and T1 answers 1-for-1 with a Drake on top for T1.
And T1 get greedy at the start there. They're like, we can take the dragon, and even without our Kazakhs there, go for an aggressive play. And the teleport from Knight looks like it will turn it all around. Not actually enough damage available as Owner. Should be fine here. Gonna walk it off. But then crucially Faker with a flash isolates Ruler, and they're able to still get the 1-4 trade with the dragon going over to them.
Yeah, both mid laners just going blow for blow there. It was a great TP from Knight, and also a really nice heal bait from Missing. He held that heal for such a long time that I do think really kind of made him a bit overconfident. Owner will be forced out. Knight comes on the collapse, they're going to be able to defend the red buff here pretty easily.
Yep. Pretty comfortable there. I really love the separation of Ruler.
حماتي اليوم الغدا عندها تعالوا نشوف شو عملت لنا اكل
وحياة الله حسني قلبي الطنط عامله هيدي كثير بحبها كفته وبطاطا بالفرن وهيدي then gets the full heal value. It's nice to see from Missing no sort of panic play coming through. And then Knight arrives, and you think this could just be all JDG. They're going to get a kill on Faker as well. But Faker finds the flash all out, isolates Ruler, gets the kill, and survives with the same play. So beautifully done from the T1 mid lane.
Absolutely amazing carry there with the hook for the follow-up as well. But as the dust settles, it's about 100
هلا وصلت عند حماتي اليوم الغدا عندها تعالوا نشوف شو عملت لنا اكل
وحياة الله حسني قلبي الطنط عامله هيدي كثير بحبها كفته وبطاطا بالفرن وهيدي مسك. But this feels like really the first time that T1 do have the edge as far as farm in the bot lane. It does feel like they are really creating a little bit of pressure here on that bottom side with Keria playing the Nautilus and Owner already taking the Dragon on bot. Is up towards this top side. Kanavi though, oh, that was really close. I'm not sure if he would have taken it, but
yeah. Wim comes lightning, just going to graze the backside of the Kazakhs, who's going to now start off his popcorn chickens. It looks like Shelly going to get a bit of respite for the moment, as we haven't really had a look at this top side of the map. Having a look at the CS numbers, it is going to be the Gwen that is starting to pull out ahead, and she will become a problem as this game goes on. Make no doubt about that, but 369 has a lot more teamfight agency and a lot more engaged potential as this game goes on as well, so it depends who gets to play their game as we move towards the later stages.
Might be looking at the 4v4. Keria now has made his way over. He is level 6 and Missing is not, so I think it's a good call from JDG not to try and flip the game here at a Herald, which I say because I've seen that happen a lot, although...
Missing got 6 now.
Yeah, dinked 6 off of the wave in mid.
Still looking for an option to come on in here as the snip comes down from Zeus, but in goes Kanavi. Faker is going to go all out on top of him though, as he's just fighting this 1v1 isolated. He steals it away, and the Kasante's dead as well. Knockups everywhere. 369 doing everything that he wants in this moment, and Zeus finds the kill in the end, looks to try and get out. I have no idea how he survived in that moment. T1 though, they lose out on the Herald. JDG finding the fight.
And crucially there, you see the value of a Lulu in these longer fights, right? With T1, the initial engage not clean enough. 369 buys so much time with the continuous knockups, and it means that if the T1 burst up front isn't enough to take someone down, particularly this early in the game where Gwen was still sitting a lot of golds, you're not going to win the longer fight.
Well, they don't really have any easy targets. You can see Zeus, up on this top side is winning out here, but 369 just flashes over the wall, rejoins with his team. You have Kanavi in the front line, but he has his ulti up. He gets wild growth, he gets shielded. You can't really turn on Knight because Knight was sitting on a stopwatch, so T1 can't burst him down either. And as you say, Maurice, as the second and third shields start to come through, you see it arriving there, delaying so much of the damage from T1. Knight has just been pounding them the entire time.
That Super Mega Death Rocket had have landed, maybe it could have made some sort of difference, but it was a 1v1 there towards the bottom side of the map. Ruler just making sure Gumayushi no ability to actually roam up there, and it is going to be Rift Herald secured. So JDG can now utilize that to get even further of an early game advantage.
And you have to be concerned about where those kills went. Knight getting another kill now, had an incredible ANE game in game number 1, and is going to be off to the races here a little bit once again in game number 2. I'm going to be interested to see where he goes with the build, though. Is he going to be going Rocket Belt in this one?
We did see a Rocket Belt.
Yeah.
Faker's first game, I think, was Rocket Belt, Annie.
Yeah, particularly with Duma having no plan, I think getting on top of him is really big.
Access?
Do want to highlight the... Ooh,
okay. Faker taking a bit of damage from Kanavi here, but Kanavi just going to give him some auto attacks and then move away.
Yeah, one highlight Zeus hitting his Riftmaker is really big. I think that Gwen doesn't really work as a champion until you get Riftmaker. The moment you can start stacking that together with your Conqueror on every single ultimate, you're going to become way stronger. Might have a collapse on him here, though.
Potentially, he's just trying to get some shellfish here in the river, but it is dangerous. Knight going to move in. The bear comes down. The Gwen just dashes out of the way, puts up the mist, but is it going to be enough? Zeus is going to get knocked up into the air, not immune enough. And now Faker's going to come in, look to see what he can get done here as the flash forward. Hook is going to connect as well as Kanavi will be taken down in trade. Top laner for jungler for now. And T1, they do manage to answer. They get the Drake as well.
Yeah, it's important for T1 because they already took the objective. They're able to answer the trade there also. Up 2 dragons to 0 here, even in gold. T1 really looking good in this third game here.
Ooh, Faker is going to pull back, missing. The hook is going to connect as well, trying to keep Knight busy as he goes all out. Missing, ulted himself, and will be able to flash away. The Incinerate's fantastic, but another Q is going to connect. Knight will flash away this time. Oh man, JDG limping out of that moment.
Yeah, big here. 41, they force the summoners, right? JDG, they do get away with their lives, but the trade, when we look at T1 able to trade back a kill and putting themselves at 2 Drakes this early on when it's a Mountain Soul on the cards is big. It starts off with JDG looking to trade cross-map as they know that T1 is doing Dragon.
Yeah, exactly. They know that they're doing the Dragon, but it takes them so long to get the kill. You can see the T1 members were rushing up from that Dragon trying to support Zeus. So yes, he does go down, but only as Faker arrives here. The cross-map ult coming through from Gumayushi, the ulti and the hook following up there from Keria. Owner gets in, and T1 are able to trade one back after taking the objective. And you said it, 2 dragons to 0, Mountain Soul on the cards. T1 definitely going to be wanting to try to get towards that.
Absolutely. Opportunity for JDG if they can turn this game around to stack up 4 of them, which is a terrifying prospect as well. Very high value dragon in the mountain. But that is down the line a little bit, 3 minutes on that next Drake. Soul point available for T1. They can keep hold of things.
And it was in fact the Rocket Belt, so interesting build here from Knight. You know, definitely not something that we see in NA as much. And we saw him go for Leandries last time when there was multiple frontliners. This time, there's a lot more squishy members. So the 5-pan passive.
Oh, missing. Not going to get hit by that one, but the ulti's going to be there. Nice. Mega Death Rocket is exactly that. And Gumayushi says, thank you so much. Gets a bit excited while he farms up these minions.
That was perfectly done. Setting up Guma for the kill there. Yes, Keria predicts left on the hook, but it didn't matter.
Ruler looking for an opportunity here as Keria is just trying to be the bodyguard. Gumayushi wants to use that range, but Ruler will not be deterred. T1 not going to be able to find that as we are going to find the Q into this mid lane. Knight pulled back there as well as Faker dealing with this bear now as well, but Zeus is wrapping around. Faker relatively low as he flashes forward, doesn't find the Q though as the all-out comes down. Faker's gonna have to get out of this one. Tibbs is being frustrating as well as Knight will just recall.
Great sidestep there from Knight, and defensively on the bot side, the chompers from Guma really denied the follow-up. That was huge. As those chompers placed between Kanavi and him, Ruler couldn't really go forward because there's no angle for Kanavi to keep on the fight.
I also think that Keria was able to hook Kanavi out of his dash. So as a result, don't actually get on top of Guma. No trade opportunity. Faker there, though, getting way over eager with the flash forward. Doesn't have the damage. If Zeus is a little closer, then that might work out. Not going to be the case this time around. And second Herald about to comp, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a full-on 5v5er, although Knight still in bot and doesn't have his TP available.
Yeah, so I don't think JDG are actually going to contest for it. You know, it has been largely T1 that have been making the better plays around Herald throughout this series. But this time, they're kind of getting the best of both worlds. If they're able to grab this Herald, they have their dragons as well, so they're going to be really sitting in a pretty good spot. Gold slightly in the favor of JDG, but it is Gumayushi who has the advantage, and it really has been about which marksman can get the most ahead, which marksman can have that big effect in the 5v5. And there are about 10 wards here for Knight to pick up.
And man, this is looking like just money everywhere here for Knight, who clears up all of them. So much value, basically a minion wave in that tri-brush. You love to see it. Just T1, they're going to move over and look for Shirley. Clears up all of them. And over the wall goes 369, and he's looking like he wants to run this. He does get one. Kanavi moves on in here as well. Over the wall goes 369. T1 are going back away. You love to see it.
Knight doesn't quite have his flash, so I'm sure JDG would love to delay for that. It's only up in a few seconds.
Back away. You love to see that brush. To the side.
Knight doesn't quite have his flash, so I'm sure JDG would love to delay for that. It's only up in a few seconds.
Faker is going to turn up now. His owner just walks over, presses the smite button. Faker now looking to try and get out of here. He should be able to do so, or maybe he doesn't have to because he's so tanky. Zap is going to connect. On the Kanavi as they're just having a battle 1v1 in this Baron pit. 369 wanting to escape. There's the knockback from Faker. Double on the Kanavi as they're just having a battle 1v1 in this Baron pit. 369 wanting to escape. There's the knockback. He's missing out on the back to now. The rule is just having a battle 1v1 in this Baron pit. Speaking of deep throws, exactly that. Now Kanavi off to the side, possibly going to get caught out towards the zap, but like you say, Knight is looming off to the backside. The Dredgeline not going to connect. He throws down the bear, but it's not exactly on the priority target, and the Flame Choppers are going to catch him. Knight will fall to the Super Mega Death Rocket. Killers will get very, very mad, but it's not exactly on the teammate's the question, but it's Flame Choppers are going to catch him. Knight will fall to the Super Mega Death Rocket. Killers will get very, very mad, but it's not exactly on the teammate's the question, but it's Flame Choppers are going to catch him. It's the wrong side of the Super Mega Death Rocket. Killers
Everybody
So long we've been talking about how the AD carries are reasonable fights, but I really think this game wants to know each other. That's the problem. So long we've been talking about the AD next fight shows it's like how they actually shut it down, but they want to know each other. That's the problem.
We're to go through this scene later on. You want to notice the active base is actually set up on this top side. And then also keep your eyes on where it's to go through this scene later on. Big Daniels want to notice is to always have this actually set up on side top side. They also keep your eyes on where it's actually start to push this scene. So as Big Daniels want to notice is JDG wants to try to grab on side top side. Over here, but there is also keep your eyes here. So start to push this scene. So as Big Daniels want to notice, JDG wants to try to grab on side top side. Over here, but there is also keep your eyes here. So start to push this scene.
The way they approach fights is very different. So Victor can be much more aggressive because he has been outside. So the way they approach fights is very different. So Victor can be much more aggressive because he has been outside. So if I continue this, because the way they approach fights is very different. So Victor can be much more aggressive because he has been outside. So if I continue this, because the way they approach fights is very different. So Victor can be much more aggressive because he has been outside.
ladies and gentlemen, MSI 2023. It is time for game number 4. This is the precursor for game 5. It's not match point. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to MSI 2023. It is time for game number 4.
A good track record with 5 games,
right? 5-2. Not match point. Ladies and gentlemen, MSI 2023. It is time.
Well, we have had a great track record.
Exactly.
We've enjoyed your time on the
Well,
we had a great track record.
Exactly.
We've enjoyed your time on the
We had a great track record.
Exactly. We've enjoyed your time on
trouble here. It's Konami only level 5, no Cyclone available. Faker going to be able to dredge line his way out. Faker in trouble here. It's Konami only level 5, no Cyclone available. Faker going to be able to dredge line his way out. Not sure if they want to Faker in trouble here. It's Konami only level 5, no Cyclone available. Faker going to be able to dredge line his way out. Not sure if they want to Faker in trouble here. It's Konami only level 5, no Cyclone available. Faker going to be able to dredge line his way out. Not sure if they want to Faker really want to look in trouble here. It's Konami only level 5, Cyclone available. Temporary by the hour. Not sure if they want to Faker really want to look in trouble here. It's Konami only level 5, Cyclone available. Temporary by the hour. Control. Not sure if they want to Faker really want to look in trouble here. They can just try to get this. He is after who has white temporary by the hour. He is. Not sure if they want to find. We'll see if he actually hits this.
Have you seen this at house slot? It's the High Roller Challenge. It's our unique challenge event that guarantees you with free Ruby and coin rewards. Have you seen this at house? The higher tier you reach, it's the High Roller Challenge. It's our unique challenge event that guarantees you with rubies are exchangeable coin rewards, which can be real assets like the High Roller Challenge. Play your favorite. It's our unique challenge event that guarantees rubies. Rubies are exchangeable coin rewards. Rubies are real assets like the High Roller Challenge. Play your favorite. It's our unique challenge event that guarantees rubies are exchangeable coin rewards. It is the best way to like the guaranteed ruby. Play your coin rewards on this challenge. Now go check out how much of this game taking it is the best way to like the guaranteed ruby. Play your coin rewards on this challenge. Now go check out how much of this game taking it is the best way to like the guaranteed ruby. Play your coin rewards on this challenge. Now go check out how much of this game taking it is the best way to like the guaranteed ruby. Play your coin rewards on this challenge. Now go check out how much of this game taking it is the best way to like the guaranteed ruby. Play your coin rewards on this challenge. Now go check out how much of this game taking it is the best way to like the guaranteed ruby. Play your coin rewards on this challenge. Now go check out how much of this game taking it is the best way to like the guaranteed ruby. Play your coin rewards on this challenge. Now go check out how much of this game taking it is the best way to like the guaranteed ruby. Play your coin rewards on this challenge. Now go check out how much of this game taking it is the best way to like the guaranteed ruby. Play your coin rewards on this challenge. Now go check out how much of this game taking it is the best way to like the guaranteed ruby. Play your coin rewards on this challenge. Now go check out how much of this game taking it is the best way to like the guaranteed ruby. Play your coin rewards on this challenge. Now go check out how much of this game taking it is the best way to like the guaranteed ruby. Play your coin rewards on this challenge. Now go check out how much of this game taking it is the best way to like the guaranteed ruby. Play your coin rewards on this challenge. Now go check out how much of this game taking it is the best way to like the guaranteed ruby. Play your coin rewards on this challenge. Now go check out how much of this game taking it is the best way to like the guaranteed ruby. Play your coin rewards on this challenge. Now go check out how much of this game taking it is the best way to like the guaranteed ruby. Play your coin rewards on this challenge. Now go check out how much of this game taking it is the best way to like the guaranteed ruby. Pl
much guys out there.
What we wanted to watch though across the dome as well. What we wanted to watch though they look to turn it around. Battledance gets missing out of there though. What we want from the TT. They look to turn it around. Battledance gets missing out of there though. One of your best tools absolutely massive. Drake is going down low. JDG fighting this time. Konami gets himself in there. Huge ult to come through once again. They just eviscerate the Kindred. And Sans is going to go down as well. It's a double for Konami. Is now huge ult to come through once again. They just eviscerate the Kindred. And Sans is going to go down as well. It's a double for Konami. Is now huge ult to come through once again. They just eviscerate the Kindred. And Sans is going to go down as well. It's a double for Konami. Is now huge ult to come through once again. They just eviscerate the Kindred. And Sans is going to go down as well. It's a double for Konami. Is now huge ult to come through once again.
Hello, one and all. Welcome back to the Cobalt Wins League for the penultimate match of the first division. The Season 5 playoffs continue on the lower bracket. Welcome back to the Cobalt Wins League for the penultimate match and third person Underworld Empire. The Season 5 playoffs continue on the lower bracket. Welcome back to the Cobalt Wins League for the penultimate and third person Underworld Empire. The Season 5 playoffs continue on the lower bracket. We're born Cobalt Wins League for the penultimate and third person Underworld Empire. The Season 5 playoffs continue on the lower bracket. We're born Cobalt Wins League the gauntlet so far, but now it's season 5 playoffs. These two teams are scoring the gauntlet so far, but the first match team with these two teams are scoring the first match team in the second game. These two teams are scoring the winner tonight in the second one face all Richard Subiani in the grand final. The winner tonight in the second one face all Richard Subiani in the grand final. The winner tonight in the second one face all Richard Subiani in the grand final. The winner tonight in the second one face all Richard Subiani in the grand final. Certainly will be. Season 5 years, the teams are left in the running. Obviously, certainly will be grand final. Season 5 years, as you said, there are some in the running. Obviously, that's higher in particular. Season 5 years, as you said, there are history in the running. Really good that's higher in particular. Season 5 years, as you said, there are history in the running. Really good that's higher in particular. There are history in the running. Really good that's higher in particular. There are history in the running. Really good that's higher in particular. There are history in the running. nice left to absolutely sometimes these lower bracket runs, but I suppose to say that momentum these teams can build on your lower bracket has sometimes actually surprisingly often these very momentum these teams are built on your lower bracket has sometimes actually surprisingly often these very momentum these teams are built on many times definitely actually surprisingly often these very momentum these teams are built on many times definitely actually surprisingly often these very momentum these teams are built on many times definitely actually surprisingly often these very momentum these teams are built on many times definitely actually surprisingly often these very down there bottom lane for WWE and also lanes and particular are there any champions in the bottom lane for WWE and also lanes are there any champions in the bottom lane for WWE and also lanes are there any champions in the bottom lane for WWE and also Obviously, all of these players on both teams are really strong. Otherwise, the teams wouldn't have made it this far in the tournament. But as we've been discussed, players on there are definitely some differences in how these two teams actually like to play out the game. But as we've been discussed, players on there are definitely some differences in how these two teams actually like to play out sort of just alluding, whether we're seeing these teams really trying to get towards their respective strengths fully sort of just alluding, maybe more to trying to really try their opponents towards their respective strengths fully for games that I know it's more to trying to really try their opponents towards their respective strengths fully for starting with I think they're really going to get more around really trying their opponents fully for starting with I think they're really going to get more around really trying their opponents for starting with I think they're really going to get more around really for starting with I think they're really going to get more around for starting with Well, it does look like Polymorph are going to be on the red side here for game #1, so that should reward them, you know, that counts. Well, it does look like Polymorph are going to be on the red side here for game #1, so that should reward them, you know, that counts. Well, it does look like Polymorph are going to be on the red side here for game #1, so that should reward them, you know, that counts. Well, it does look like Polymorph are going to be on the red side here for game #1, so that should reward them, you know, that counts. Well, it does look like Polymorph are going to be on the red side here for game #1, so that should reward them, you know, that counts. Well, it does look like Polymorph are going to be on the red side here for game #1, so that should reward them, you know, that counts. Well, it does look like Polymorph are going to be on the red side here for game #1, so that should reward them, you know, that very strong teams here, of course, hope to see some clean League of Legends, and hoping also, of course, to get into that first draft phase. Yeah, I mean, two very strong teams here, of course, hope to see some clean League of Legends, and hoping also, of course, to get into that fair mids phase. Yeah, I mean, two very strong teams here, of course, hope to see some clean League of Legends. Anything particularly noteworthy with the fair mids? Want to discuss? Yeah, I've said on this for a couple of weeks now, it's been really anything particularly noteworthy with the fair mids? Want to discuss? Yeah, I've said on this for a couple of weeks now, it's been really anything particularly noteworthy with the fair mids? Want to discuss? Yeah, I've said on this for a couple of weeks now, it's been really anything particularly noteworthy with the fair mids? Want to discuss? Yeah, I've said on this for a couple of weeks now, it's been really anything particularly noteworthy with the fair mids? Want to discuss? Yeah, I've said on this for a couple of weeks now, it's been really anything particularly noteworthy with the fair mids? Want to discuss? Yeah, I've said on this for a couple of weeks now, it's been really particularly noteworthy with the fair mids? Want to discuss? Yeah, I've said on this for a couple of weeks now, it's been for sure, yeah, I feel like the new Cosmic Drive is pretty good. The changes that were made to it did kind of seem like it's slightly less good drive is pretty good. The changes that were made to it did kind of but still, you know, it feels reasonably strong and really on is pretty good. The changes that were made right now that were but still, you know, it's reasonably strong and really on is pretty good. The changes that were made right now that were but still, you know, it's reasonably strong and really on. I really don't think that this is right now that we're Italy is really interesting. I really don't think that Italy is really interesting. I really don't think Here we go. Sorry about the delay, everybody, but yes, it is. Here we go. Sorry about the delay, everybody, but yes, it is. Here we go. It is definitely but yes, it is. Not entirely sure. Here we go. It is definitely but yes, it is. Not entirely sure. Ready up the phone to go that way. Ready up the phone to go that way. Make sure they're ready. Ready up the phone to go that way. Make sure they're ready. Pleasure's all mine, Coach Caps. Contradiction. Pleasure's all mine, Coach Caps. Contradiction. Pleasure's all mine, Coach Caps. Contradiction. I'm glad you're enjoying it. At least you usually don't have, extended delays. I'm glad you're enjoying it. At least you usually don't have, extended delays. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, at least you usually don't have, extended delays. Generally, decent data. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, at least you usually don't have, extended delays. Generally, decent data. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, at least you usually don't have, extended delays. Generally, decent data. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, at least you usually don't have, extended delays. Generally, decent data. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, at least you usually don't have, extended delays. Generally, decent data. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, at least you usually don't have, extended delays. Generally, decent data. I'm glad you're enjoying it. You feel like the grandstand is definitely more important than the wall. You feel like the grandstand is definitely more important than the wall. You feel like the grandstand is definitely more important than the wall. You feel like the grandstand is definitely more important than the wall. Thank you. Sure, I mean, obviously the Gragas belong to very different styles. Saying the Gragas, very same thing. You move all behind. I mean, obviously the champion that can still have a high impact style. Just saying, the Gragas, very same thing. Whereas the LeBlanc behind is much more of a champion that can still have a high impact style. Doesn't get ahead. Just saying, Gragas, very same thing. Whereas the LeBlanc behind is much more of a champion that can still have a high impact style. Doesn't get ahead. Just saying, Gragas, very same thing. Whereas the LeBlanc behind is much more of a champion that can still have a high impact style. Doesn't get ahead. Just saying, Gragas, very same thing. Whereas the LeBlanc behind is much more so the reason behind these guys who did get an update that Empire are releasing one of their players. So that's the reason behind these guys who did get an update. Apparently they are going to Empire in 7 minutes. One of their players arrived in the lobby to get started for. Apparently they are going to Empire in 7 minutes. One of their players arrived in the lobby to get started for. Apparently they are going to Empire in 7 minutes. One of their players arrived in the lobby to get started for. Apparently they are going to Empire in 7 minutes. One of their players arrived in the lobby to get started for. Apparently they are going to Empire how to make money in their market. How to request this arrived in the lobby to get started for. Apparently just make money in their market. How to request this request you $1 especially as we are able to develop a lot of what we did, you know, is this was we didn't only really discuss the bands for Empire, you know, what we did, you know, is lay there, the band gets on the aria, the bands for Empire, you know, what we did, you know, is lay there, the band gets on the aria, the bands for Empire, you know, what we did, you know, is lay there, the band gets on the aria, the bands for Empire, you know, what we did, you know, is lay there, the band gets on the aria, the bands for Empire, you know, what we did, you know, is lay there, the band gets on the aria, the bands for Empire, you know.
But now you have to also think that Wukong is unpillable and also gets the engage There's actually a item also engaging about now you have to also think why game 5 specifically are also interesting because there's no deal or anything also engaging what if now you have to also think why game 5 specifically are also interesting because there's no deal or anything also engaging what if now you have to also think why game 5 are also interesting because there's no deal or anything also engaging what if now you have to also think why game 5 are also Give us a show. The spot in the MSI 2023 Grand Finals on the line. Can T1 stay undefeated in non-finals? Or will it be JDG successfully the spot in the MSI 2023 Grand Finals on the line? Can T1 stay undefeated?
Thank you so much, Shucks.
Or will it be JDG
Game number 5, the moment. Thank you so much, Shucks. Game number 5, the moment. Thank you so much, Shucks. Game number 5, the moment. Thank you so much, Shucks. Game number 5, the moment. Thank you so much, Shucks.
Both of the games that they won, the team fights were very heavily involved. I think
Thank you so much, Shucks.
both of the DR where they shot, they just came up with very the big question is, what are the we both are going to be taken away. I feel like it's going to be there after that. How good can be why the big question is, what are the we both are going to be taken away. I feel like it's going to be there after that. How good can be why the big question is, what are the we both are going to be taken away. I feel like it's going to be there after that. How good can be why the big question is, what are the we both are going to be taken away. I feel like it's going to be there after that. How good can be why the big question is, what are the we both be taken away. I feel like it's going to be there after that. People just go over it. It's actually been so quick. Honestly,